Hi, this is Leanne at Complete Payroll. Welcome to Payroll Country. Today we're going to review how we verify payroll entries before submitting payroll for final processing in Evolution Classic. We'll start at the quick entry grid, which is in our payroll batch area. Here on the grid, we can see the hours and amounts for each employee in the columns that represent our earnings and deduction codes. At the bottom of the screen, we'll find totals for each column that we can compare to our original source data that we used to enter the payroll into our Evolution Classic software. Another place to verify our payroll is in the Earnings and Deductions tab, also found here in the Payroll Batch area. When I open this tab, we find two grids. In the left grid, we see the summary totals of hours and amounts for each earning and deduction listed by code and description. When we select and highlight an earning or deduction code in the left grid, we'll see the detailed hours and earnings by employee listed in the right side grid. This can be especially helpful to verify recent changes such as new deduction amounts for health insurance. The next step for verifying payroll is to pre-process our payroll, which enables us to see all calculated totals such as net pay amounts, direct deposits, and taxes that we cannot see on our grids or reports without pre-processing. I'll return to the quick entry grid, click the pre-process button in the bottom left, and when the task is complete, I'll open my task queue by clicking on the View button at the very bottom left corner to verify that my payroll has pre-processed successfully. When I close my task queue, I'll be taken right back to my quick entry grid. To see my new calculated amounts, I need to refresh my data by clicking on the refresh button at the top of the screen. And then I'll go back into my batch where I can click on the Earnings and Deductions tab, and I'll see the two grids fully populated with my calculated amounts for verification. The last method of verifying payroll is running reports. We consider this to be a best practice after you pre-process and before you submit. So right from this screen, I can click on my Favorite Reports button located underneath the Additional Tools heading in the upper right-hand corner. The Favorite Reports tab are the reports that I have added to this Favorite Reports tool for my specific user login, and I'm going to select the Payroll Register. The company reports are reports that have been added by Complete Payroll, and then the details is where I'm going to select Last Waiting Payroll and click on Run Reports. When the report is complete, I can click on the View button in the very bottom left-hand corner and view the report in my task queue. If your company has a multi-level organizational structure, you may want to consider using a labor distribution report for verification purposes. The labor distribution report is similar to a payroll register, but it shows hours and amounts by department worked versus the payroll register, which shows earnings by home department worked. Finally, one more report that we'd suggest you might use is the Employees Not Paid report, which will show you a list of all your active employees that did not have earnings or hours reported for this pay period. And this just helps you to make sure that we don't miss anybody. Your full reports library, found by clicking Reports, Run Reports, contains many more standard reports that may assist you in verifying your payroll. Once you've completed verifying your payroll entries, you can always go back into the batch and continue to make changes if necessary, and then pre-process and verify again. If everything looks great the first time around, then you're ready to move on to just submitting your payroll for final processing. This concludes our look at payroll verification. For demonstrations of favorite reports and standard reports, please check out those videos in our video library at CompletePayroll.com. Thank you for joining me and have a great day.